So I've been given the task of solving this equation. Sine squared x minus cosine squared x is equal to 0. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm trying to think how I can basically break this into pieces in order to solve it. Well, I know that I have a Pythagorean identity. Oh, I apologize for that. Let me change colors. That is sine squared x plus cosine squared x is equal to 1. So my option is to rearrange this Pythagorean identity and solve for one of these things and use substitution. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to choose to solve for sine squared x. Now I want to note that you could have solved for cosine squared x as well, and you would have still gotten the same answer in the end when you solved and substituted the whole problem out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it in for sine squared. So I have 1 minus cosine squared of x minus cosine squared of x is equal to 0. I'm going to combine like terms, and now I have 1 minus 2 cosine squared x is equal to 0. I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides, divide by negative 2. Okay, so now I have cosine squared of x is equal to positive 1/2. Alright, so now I want to take the square root, and that gives me the square root of 1 is 1 over root 2. Well, as you guys know, we cannot have root 2 on the bottom, so I'm going to rationalize that denominator, and I'm going to get root 2 over 2. So basically what I'm saying here is I'm saying when is the value of cosine, also called the arc sine, equal to root 2 over 2. Alright, so I know that that's going to be some version of my 45-degree angle. So I know that. So I'm dealing with 45 degrees. But I also know that because it is positive, I also know that it's going to be in quadrant 1 or 4. So if I know that that is in quadrant 1 and 4, if I think about what the unit circle looks like, I know that I'm dealing with 45 degrees here, and I know that I'm dealing with 315 degrees here. If I go to the very top of this problem, though, I have found out that my answer is 45 degrees or 315 degrees. But my interval was given to me in 0 and 2 pi. So that means that my answer needs to be in radians. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to convert those. So I've got 45 times pi over 180. And that is going to give me x is equal to pi over 4. And then I also have 315 degrees times pi over 180. And that is going to give me 7 pi over 4. So now I have my answers, and I've checked to make sure that they're on the right intervals, and I've also checked to make sure that I've put them in order.